When you check out all the 9 single-player games I'm about to reveal, it is my personal guarantee that you will, like me, spend 50 full workdays in the most engrossing stories, engaging gameplay, and downright addictive collecting, leveling up, and building that will leave your bladder full, eyeballs dry, and family wondering if you're still alive. That's almost 400 hours, 2 whole weeks, 50 full workdays. If I was making $350 a day, that would be almost $20,000. To compile this list, I sorted my Steam, Switch, and console games released in 2023 by total hours played, and asked myself, how hard was it to get off the couch while you were playing? And then ranked their addictiveness on a scale of 1 to 5 couches. And by the end of this list, it was downright unhealthy. Can you guess which game was my number 1? Let's get to it. First up is a new entry in one of the most addictive genres of game ever plopped on this earth that had the worst launch of any game I can remember. You know what I'm talking about. It's Cities Skylines 2. Whew. Once you swat away all the bugs, you'll be building the city of your dreams, zoning residential, commercial, and industrial zones, deciding whether you want the neighborhood to look like the suburban hometown of your youth or the bustling metropolis of your young adulthood. Cities Skylines 2 boasts an improved economy where you build industries to gather resources and improved road tools that offer more robust options than the first, but still don't let you build a left turn arrow. God damn it! Cities Skylines 2 had me addicted because it's so damn fun to build up a giant city, then sit there fixing the traffic jams, adding lanes, building highway on-ramps, but then it also had me frustrated because I should be able to build a left turn arrow, damn it! This game should be higher on this list as I played Cities Skylines 1 for a total of 250 hours, including an entire month lost to making sure my citizens had enough parks, hospitals, and hearses, but because I'm more of an unpaid beta tester than a player, I've only logged 21 hours in this sad, sad puppy. Once they actually complete the game, squish the bugs, and offer mod support, I would definitely recommend playing this game. And I'm gonna give it 5 couches, but they're all broken. Next up is the remake of a horror game with one of the best openings in gaming history, Dead Space Remake. You play as Isaac, a mild-mannered engineer who's on a team responding to a distress call from an abandoned ship. And before long, you discover the entire crew was slaughtered by aliens, and you have to get the ship running again so you yourself can, not get slaughtered by aliens. Right from the get-go, this game is intense. The music is classic horror and the gameplay is finely tuned. But the enemies are what make Dead Space so unique, as the aliens who boarded the ship infest the bodies of the dead, and their weak points are in their spiny arms, not their heads like in most other horror games. Having to shoot them in their skinny arms makes the gunplay that much more challenging. And it also innovated in its UI, putting your health on your suit and your ammo right on your gun, so the screen isn't crowded by health bars and ammo counts, more fully immersing you in the horror. Yet another highlight of Dead Space is the graphics. The lighting is dim and atmospheric. The textures are crisp and clear, and it does all of this at over 60 frames per second with hardly a drop. It's like the complete opposite of Cities Skylines 2. I'm gonna give this game 4 couches. Look out, it's infested! Want to feel like you've been sucked into a surreal nightmare world of your own creation where time means nothing and before long you've been in there for 30 full hours? Then you should give our third entry on this list a try. Alan Wake 2. I played this game more recently than all the others, and goddamn, it kept me stuck to the couch more than the popcorn kernels I dropped in between the cushions. And the most addicting part of it was honestly the story and the visual design. I wanted to know what was going to happen to Saga and Alan so badly that I gritted my way through the not-so-fun combat. Alan Wake 2 has a mind-bending plot where you play as an FBI agent trying to figure out why a cult is murdering people, and the titular Alan Wake trying to figure out how to get out of the dark place. Between the fantastic writing with a compelling mystery, FMV blended seamlessly into the game world, amazing music, and top-notch artistry, this game is well worth your time. Even though you have to use the Epic Game Store to play it on PC. A new Game Plus mode is releasing soon too, so I expect this hour count is about to tick up. Alan Wake 2 gets 3 couches. But is it actually 4 couches? Did I grow up here? Next up is a remake of one of my favorite games from the last 20 years from one of my favorite game franchises of all time, Resident Evil 4 Remake. I said goodbye to my social life and logged 33 hours in this fantastic remake of a game that revolutionized the franchise and even gaming itself. Not only is the combat perfect, but collecting treasure, selling it to the merchant,
Thank you.
completing challenges, and upgrading your guns all the way through a new Game Plus mode makes Resident Evil 4 Remake more addictive than TikTok. You play as Leon Kennedy, the handsomest Special Forces agent this side of an Abercrombie & Fitch catalog, who has been tasked with rescuing the president's daughter from a cult that just so happens to be infecting people with Las Plagas, a parasite that was the basis for the T-virus that infected Raccoon City in the previous games. And it runs fantastically on the Steam Deck, so you can add another 6 hours to your total playtime on your next flight. Resident Evil 4 gets an unequivocal 5 couches. I'll buy it at a high price. The next game on this list also happens to be the best-selling game of 2023 as of this writing, despite a lot of controversy. Hogwarts Legacy. You get to cosplay as a student admitted to Hogwarts as a 5th year because of your special abilities in this prequel to the events of the Harry Potter books. The most addictive thing about this game has to be discovering more and more of the world of Harry Potter, flying around in a broom, learning new spells, and the excellent wand battles. I played for 35 hours, but out of all the games on this list, I was only kind of addicted. The game was held back for me by the characters and dialogue. Instead of he who must not be named, it was full of they I couldn't name.
Huh?
And a UI that I had a lot of trouble navigating, especially the maps. I would have liked it a lot more if I could play as a student while Harry Potter was there. I wanted to talk to Dumbledore, damn it, but that's just me. I still managed to lose myself in the world of Harry Potter for the equivalent of 4 full work days, and if you're more forgiving of the writing, you could get lost in it for a lot longer. Hogwarts Legacy gets 5 couches. Wait, what? Expelliarmus! 2 couches. The next entry I suspect none of you have heard of, but it is well worth your attention. I did not expect to get as addicted as I did to the 6th game on this list, which also happens to be a faithful remake of a masterpiece from the early 90s, which, let's be real, no one would ever play anymore. I mean, look at it. Clocking in at 35 hours, I'm talking about System Shock. You play as a hacker who breaks into the servers of a big corporation, who then kidnap you, take you to a spaceship, and make you hack the AI on board, Shodan, to make her into an unstoppable killing machine. Maybe don't make her look evil? So you wake up out of cryosleep much later to an abandoned ship and have to figure out how to kill her. It's classic 90s gameplay where it does not tell you shit. You have to figure out where to go and what to do all by yourself as you traverse its maze-like corridors. There's something uniquely addictive about the gameplay loop where you clear whole floors of the ship at once, filling out your map until you find the CPU cores, destroy them, then you can progress to the next floor and do the same thing. And it's also challenging gameplay. I died so many times fighting the relentlessly respawning robots until I figured out their attack pattern, and once I did, it was very satisfying. It's also got logic puzzles throughout that are fun once you know what you're doing. As one of the less well-known games on this list, I would definitely recommend giving it a playthrough. System Shock gets a full 5 couches. Insect. Another list item, another remake. This one actually didn't release in 23, don't kill me, but I spent a full 54 hours on it, so I'm going to add it in anyway as an honorable mention. It's one of the best updates of a classic game that I've ever played, and I was fully addicted for weeks. I'm talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake. If you haven't heard of Final Fantasy VII, it revolutionized gaming and thrust the PlayStation into the limelight as the premier gaming console of its day, and PlayStation continues to dominate. The original Final Fantasy game sported a turn-based combat system which, if you try it lately, feels extremely dated. So in the update, you have the same spells, abilities, and limit breaks as before, but it's combined with a fun action combat system, so instead of spamming the attack command, you can actually, attack. Final Fantasy VII expands on the classic story where you're hired as a mercenary for a terrorist group trying to stop evil corporation Shinra from draining the planet of all of its energy, taking the first third of the original and making it its own game. But it's nuanced too, because the group is constantly questioning if you're doing the right thing. After all, whole planets are powered with this energy and communities depend on it to live, and then you destroy their power source. The sequel looks like it's going to veer even farther from the story of the PS1 classic, but as long as Cloud still cross-dresses, I'm fine with it. Its character progression using materia and leveling up, the really fun combat, and incredible graphics are what addicted me to this really well-made classic remake. And I'm giving it 3 couches. Limit break! 5 couches. Next on this list is a game that, let's be real, we all love to hate, from a game developer that we love to complain about. Bethesda's Starfield. The only original IP on this list. Everything else is a sequel or a remake. Just like with every Bethesda game before it, I fell headfirst into this space exploration RPG and didn't come up for air for 64 hours, or 8 full workdays. You essentially play as a character you create who finds an ancient artifact, and in the quest for more artifacts, you travel to distant planets, level up, loot enemy bases, build spaceships, and have a lot of conversations with very awkward people who look dead inside. Typical Bethesda. It's addictive because it really takes a lot of work to do anything. Skill points are hard to come by, and you need them to do pretty basic things. Also, the game instills a sense of wonder and curiosity right from the get-go. I mean, you can explore the entire universe. But by hour 60, I was finding that the rewards were hollow, and too many times exploration was met with the same copy-pasted bases I had already seen, with exactly the same interiors. And it's fun to shoot and loot, but the inventory system is so bad it's a chore to manage it. I had to download a mod to make it manageable on PC. Part of the giant playtime is that everything takes so long. You have to run to every location, there's no vehicles, but building ships is fun. Before you know it, you've spent 3 hours customizing a ship. My favorite part about Starfield has to be the graphics. Even something as simple as that has me coming back for more. I played it for 64 hours, so there was some fun to be had. I should also mention the New Game Plus mode is very innovative and is a good reason to complete the main campaign as fast as possible so you can get to it. That's all I'll say. So Starfield gets 5 couches, but they're not very comfortable. One more game left, but before I get to it, I wanted to give an honorable mention to a game I know a lot of you got very addicted to, and that's Baldur's Gate 3. I did spend 17 hours playing, but was never addicted. I would say, hands down, Baldur's Gate 3 is more robust and rich than Starfield, but I wasn't the biggest fan of the combat system. I know that's sacrilege, but it's true. If you need yet another game to get addicted to, Baldur's Gate 3 is right up there. And now for our final entry. If you want to be hopelessly addicted to a game, I can't recommend anything more than the most addictive game of 2023, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. There are so many quests, side adventures, shrine quests, and side quests. It kept me busy for more than 75 hours, and I still have 2 more of the 4 temples to complete. It's addicting in a way none of the other games on this list are, because you literally fall in love with this game. I can still remember when it happened to me. I finally tamed a horse, and I was riding it across a giant field. Then the incredible music started playing, and I literally fell in love. Now, I don't want to use the word cute, but I can't think of a better one. Everything is insanely cute. Comment a better word if you have one. The way characters fist pump when something good happens, the way animals puff into a cloud of smoke and become a leg of lamb when you kill them, the old ladies, the towns, even the enemies, the way they're drawn and animated, everything about the game is tonally consistent where the whole becomes so much greater than the sum of its parts. And when I say cute, that doesn't mean there's not insane danger, because there is. The combat is both fun and difficult. I have died quite a few times rushing an enemy camp or entering a cave. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom manages an incredible feat. Its world is massive, yet it never feels too big. It keeps the same progression system as Breath of the Wild. You start with an empty map and look for massively tall Skyview towers. And there's a huge benefit to arriving at one because it fills in a section of your map and adds a quick travel location. And the other great advantage to Skyview towers is that they shoot you into the sky, allowing you to glide towards a faraway location, cutting down your travel time by quite a lot. And while you're gliding, you can see shrines down below, which are lit up, provide a quick travel location, and if you complete the puzzle inside, you can get a heart container piece, which, when combined with 3 more, adds to your health or your stamina. It's a great mechanic and makes the open world infinitely traversable. There's a fantastic video about it on Game Maker's Toolkit that I would definitely recommend you watch. This constant feeling of curiosity, combined with slowly leveling up your stamina or health, and constantly having something new to do, makes Zelda Tears of the Kingdom the most addictive game since Breath of the Wild. Nintendo really knows what they're doing with game design, and it's very much on display here. I took my Switch on trips, I played it at friends' houses, I was obsessed. Just like with Breath of the Wild, which I spent 85 hours playing. And unlike Starfield, I would give it my wholehearted recommendation. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom gets 5 couches. In a stranger's house you just barged into. But hey, these are just my most addictive games for 2023. What did you get addicted to this year? And if they're the same games, maybe hit subscribe. And if you're interested in learning more about these games, I have videos about City Skylines 2, Starfield, Alan Wake 2, and Hogwarts Legacy on this channel, just begging you to watch. So go watch them. Watch them. Watch them.